Okay, guys, why don't you come on over here? Just come on in here. Leave your guitars and whatever behind you. This is Jon and Tim. Jon and Tim.
Yes.
Neufeld. I was going to say Tim and Jon Starfield, but
it's common. Happens all the time.
Yeah, Neufeld. Is that a Mennonite name?
It might be.
You're not sure?
No, it definitely is. There's no question that Neufeld is a Mennonite name.
Yeah, German or something like that.
Where are you from?
Germany? No. Well, we grew up in Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg.
Yeah, so.
But you're sort of on the road quite a bit.
Yeah, we have no real home. It's a tour bus or an airplane.
You're sort of homeless, but you have wives and kids, right?
We do, and mortgages in certain places. I live in Abbotsford, just outside of Vancouver.
Okay.
Home of the Vancouver Canucks.
That's right. Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yes.
In fact, you know what? I cheer for them.
Do you really?
Yeah. And when I was pastoring in Vancouver, I would tell Vancouver, I said, years ago when they were in the Stanley Cup final, that we in Toronto cheered for them, and they didn't believe me. They thought I was kidding.
I would never cheer for the Maple Leafs if they're in the
You wouldn't cheer for them?
Are they in the playoffs this year? They're doing
the
really
Maple
well,
Leafs? No, they're not.
Oh,
the Maple Leafs are not.
You're not in first place?
No. Unlike the Canucks. Unlike the
I'm
Canucks.
going to get hate mail.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get the email. Tell me about this music that you're doing. 'Cause is there not a kind of a new genre, if you use the proper term, of worship music that has sprung up over the past 10 years or so that is really becoming, in the gospel scene, a really, really big player?
Yeah, I think worship music in the church especially it's always transitioning, but it's a really slow transition.
Now, when you're singing your songs, a lot of the people you sing to have bought your CDs, they're familiar with your music. Do they sing along? Do you encourage them to sing along?
Yeah, I mean, we usually try to purposefully craft, maybe 3 or 4 songs per album in a way that would be corporately palatable. Like, where a church could get together, the worship team, GCD, they figure it out. It's something that you can catch on to easily. And that's what would be, the music that we'd sing in the church.
GCD, the chord progression.
Yes, the 3 chords that will play any song in the world. If you got a capo and 3 chords in the truth,
G, C, and D.
You're good to go.
Do you ever have the music team of a church join you and play along? Yeah,
we have done it occasionally, not that often.
No.
There's some constraints to having musicians play. I mean, our songs aren't that hard, but we're used to playing with people that play all the time.
Of course. In other words, you're used to playing with pros.
We're music snobs. Is what it is.
You're music snobs.
Ultimately, we're there to serve them, so it's fun. And we really enjoy the process.
You've been singing together now at Starfield for about 8 years?
Well, more than that.
More than that?
It's more like 12.
12?
99-ish.
I was 10 at the time, and Tim was 13.
Yes. So now we're in our early 20s.
Now in your early 20s, I see that. And you have teenage kids.
I think that joke didn't work last time.
We have teenage kids. We don't have teenage kids.
No, you don't have teenage kids. But in terms of how gospel music has evolved, are you surprised at its evolution, or have you been a part of that evolution?
I mean, I guess
we're responsible for that.
You're responsible for it?
Yeah, I mean, I love where it's going. I think it's just becoming less of a, for so long it's been necessary to have a certain, we call them JPMs, like Jesus per minutes in songs. Like you're required to have this, and then you'll be played on Christian radio, or you'll be accepted in the church. And that's not what art is. Art is the interpretation and all, the way that we see the world, and then we put it to music through our own personal kind of understanding of how it works, and that's how it should be expressed. And the church, obviously, theologically, we need to censor ourselves, but in the sense that art is the expression of the heart as it's inspired by God, like there's a lot more freedom that way now. So I'm getting a little deep on you here, but
I'm still stuck on JPMs.
Jesus per minute?
Yeah.
It's a good term.
Do you have JPM requirement here at
No, we don't.
Okay.
No, I have not really heard that before.
Right. That's all you're going to take from this interview,
but,
JPMs.
But no, seriously, Christian stations require X number of mentions of the name of Jesus
Absolutely
in order for your song to qualify?
That was not serious.
Oh, okay. No. You're okay.
But there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's, like our music, for instance, like some of it maybe isn't what would have been acceptable 5 years to sing in the church, but now people kind of have more open, not understanding, but just musical tastes change. In the same way that hymns, were for so long the only music that the church accepted, and then choruses came in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The Vineyard, Maranatha thing happened. Now it's sort of like the Chris Tomlin, David Crowder, Starfield. Like we're all kind of pushing the church in a direction that that is more modern, and that's a good thing. That's how it's always kind of been. And
I think music is more accessible than it's ever been too. I think that with digital music revolution, it's not, people aren't just fed one thing and they're like, this is it, this is the new thing. It's like everybody can kind of find their own idea of what is relevant to them, and I think that that's changed the music scene, especially the Christian music scene.
You talk about relevance. My mother-in-law died last year, but she was 101 when she died.
Wow.
And when she was 100, she was in a conversation with somebody who was all uptight about the modern music in the church, and she said, remember, dear, this is my mother-in-law, there was a time when what we used to love was new too. You know, and the fact is that about 200 years ago or so, only psalms, if anything, was sung. You know, in worship services. I mean, so music in the church service is a relatively new phenomenon.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, and we forget that. You know, like give something 200 years and a bunch of churches doing it, it becomes accepted. But it's not always the way it has been, and it's cool. I mean, as long as we're all in it to serve the church, I think we're going to be okay.
We got a minute. How is your music evolving? Are you considering any new styles, new additions, new adventures, new frontiers?
Bagpipes is the new thing. No, you know what? We have this new independent album. It's The Kingdom. You had
this
it's
one
in
right
front of
here.
you there,
Yeah.
and it's very cool for us to be free from a record label and to be able to sell it on iTunes. And you know, be able to plug these things and have it accessible and not have to, you know, answer to anybody in a office in Nashville. So
Yeah, so you've got some great songs here. The Kingdom is from the album.
Yes.
And then you're going to sing one now called Light of the World?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jon and Tim Neufeld, you're really making your mark here in Canada. Starfield's the name of the group, and iTunes is selling it, friends. Log on and get your copy. Why don't you get off the stage here right now? Not that I want to get rid of you or anything. And sing a song. You're going to sing Light of the World, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, and as they're getting set, friends, just remember that there's a lot of creative things happening out there, and it's wonderful to see young guys like this who are vitally involved in the ministry of the gospel, in this case musically, who have a real commitment to the substance of the gospel in their lyrical content and are really doing a job and well appreciated and honored by the music industry in general. Starfield are a group to be proud of. And here they are now with Light of the World.
Know that there will come a day we're all together in that place. Until then we gotta get along. Divided we're weak, 'cause one we're strong. So everybody grab a hand. A house divided cannot stand. We can't show his love until we're a shining city on a hill. If we all just come together, let our hearts collide. And maybe we'll find that the light of the world will shine to the depths of the darkest night. The light of the world will shine through us. And maybe we'll see by a love that the world believes, and the captives will be set free. And the light of the world will shine through us. We're the salt and we're the light, a blazing fire in the night, burning for the world to see, burning that they might believe. So let this fire in you burn bright, wave the flag and join the fight. A revolution is at hand. Let's learn to love a fellow man. If we all just come together, let our hearts collide. If as brothers and as sisters we would unify, maybe we'll find that the light of the world will shine to the depths of the darkest night. And the light of the world will shine through us. And maybe we'll see by captives will be set free, and the light of the world will shine through us. Let it shine to the nations. Let it cover the earth. Through our lips as we worship, and our hands as we serve. Maybe we'll find that the light of the world will shine to the depths of the darkest night. And the light of the world will shine through us. Maybe we'll see by love that the world believes, and the captives will be set free, and the light of the world will shine through us. Shine.